Just talk to us about how big a force the right wing is going to be in these elections.
Well, this speaks to the dual nature of these elections, because on the one hand, people are voting for the 720 members of the European Parliament, those people that will help shape the political and policy direction of the European Union over the next 5 years. On the other hand, people are voting in 27 different countries, so they're also dealing with competing issues at a national level. So what we're looking at when we try to examine what we take away from this election is both what people want out of the European Union, but also in a lot of cases what people want in their own countries. These elections are often referred to as being second-order elections by political scientists because people vote on issues that are not necessarily the way they would vote in a national election. In France, you mentioned, for example, a big focus on how Emmanuel Macron's party performs. It's seen as a bit of a midterm election for him, a check on the performance of his party and his popularity. But that also feeds into then the performance of the far-right groups, which at a European level operate in two distinct groups, and a big focus will be able to see how those two groups perform in these elections and what that means for the policy direction going from here.
Well, speaking of the policy direction here, it's a no-brainer that it's Ukraine, of course, this defense ramp-up. But we just had so many guests on our show this morning say that defense ramp-up isn't something the markets can really wrap their minds around because it just doesn't feel like there's enough budget for that. How does that affect the Ukraine story?
Well, it's a question of budget, but also a question of how the EU will decide to use its policy instruments to actually do something about it. It's important to remember that trying to get 27 countries to agree on anything is very difficult. And although the European Parliament has a co-decision power in forming EU law, ultimately a lot of the decision-making lies with the national governments. And when it comes to issues around defence, countries are very unwilling to try and cede that to a European level. So the issues that we should expect and what the major political parties in this election are promising is more action towards the defence industry, be it supporting production and ability to be able to ramp up production at a European level, inserting requirements that a certain amount of defence spending be done to purchase European-made defence facilities. There's already been £1.5 billion earmarked to work towards that. The need, according to the Internal Markets Commissioner Thierry Breton, is £100 billion is what he wants European countries to spend. The budget doesn't have that at the moment. They have to reallocate what's in the budget. That'll be part of the negotiations that happen after these elections. And the question of how much scale Europe can apply to this, given that it is an awful lot of money, that every country wants a piece of where that European budget goes, but they also have to make difficult choices about where to take it from.